think I should be commended. My laptop tablet's at 100% because I remember to plug it in. I think that should count for something because usually it's about 12.
Usually it goes for
That's it, you go.
I noticed that.
You use check mark beside your name.
He usually goes quarter push up over here.
I think about it when I pick it up. It's like, you know why? Because I'm working in that where I usually keep it, and I had to clear it out.
That's a good thing, keep it calling.
Carolina West is not as good as it was. It's so good.
I went the other way because the service was so bad for Carolina West. I was missing calls last week.
Really?
Yeah.
I couldn't go anywhere.
Verizon.
Is it better for you?
It has been.
Mine was awful.
Came back forward and everything.
I would start a phone on Verizon, my Carolina West phone. Anytime they called me, they'd call me on my Carolina West phone because I didn't have service. Verizon.
But it's not as good as we get there.
No doubt in it, it's not.
I don't have any.
Still drops some Cranberry Gap, still drops some 22. I know about that.
Okay, Ms. Mayor.
Mark just changed, Mark Norman just changed me to AT&T. I said, I'll do it.
I call you later. Turn it off. Turn the phone off.
All right, we will bring our regular meeting to order November the 7th, 2022. And if anyone is here that wants to speak to agenda item that's on the yellow sheet, you need to sign up with Miss Cindy over here. All right. Tim, would you lead us in our invocation?
Dear Lord, thank you for this day and all your many blessings, Lord. Just be with us, Lord, as we conduct county visits, Lord. May we make decisions that are led by you, Lord, and the decisions we make will be for the best of Avery County. Be with those that are sick and hurting, Lord. You know every need, but most of all, be with those that are lost. We ask all these favors in Christ's loving name. Amen.
Amen. We're going to ask at this time if everyone will bow their head just for a moment of silence for James Randall Fletcher. Mr. Fletcher passed away October 10th, and he did serve Avery County as the county manager. So we're just going to pause for a moment of silence in his remembrance. Thank you.
All right. 3.2, our call to the pledge, and let's all stand and do our pledge. Blake, would you lead us, please?
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, and as we did our pledge, it reminds me that November 11th is our Veterans Day, and we need to remember our veterans. We had our breakfast at the senior place this past week, and it's a special day. It's special that they gave us our freedom. All right, we'll move right along. 3.2A, we have a resolution and awards.
I'd like to make a motion that we
Okay,
amend the
all right,
agenda
we're gonna amend the agenda.
to include
Resolution.
the
Resolution, all right.
I couldn't read you right.
So,
All right, we'll turn it over to you.
Hang on.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Say aye. Aye. Okay.
All right. Now we're ready for 3.2A. We don't have any proclamations or rewards, but I do have a resolution that I will read before the board at this time. Whereas Avery County Board of Commissioners takes pride in recognizing the student scholastic and athletic achievement in Avery County, and whereas the National FFA organization is a school-based national youth leadership development organization of more than 735,000 students, members as part of 8,817 local FFA chapters in all 50 states and Puerto Rico. And FFA's mission is to make a positive difference in the lives of students by developing their potential for premier leadership, personal growth, and career success through agriculture education. And whereas Walker and Jackson Boone and Ethan and Eli Church, as musical group Boone and Church, qualified for the National FFA Convention Talent Competition in Indianapolis, Indiana. And whereas they competed and won the National FFA Convention Talent Competition from over 30 competitors from across the United States. And whereas the Avery County Board of Commissioners recognizes this great accomplishment, and whereas this brings nationwide recognition and distinction to all of Avery County, now therefore it be resolved that the Avery County Board of Commissioners hereby publicly recognizes and congratulates Boone and Church on their outstanding achievements for the 22-23 school year. Adopted this the 7th day of November 2022. Martha Hicks, Chair, Avery County Board of Commissioners.
Move to adopt.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Boone and Mr. Church, would you come forward and let us?
All the Mr. Boones and Mr.
All
Churches.
Take four of you, make history. That's five. Four. For your picture.
Very good.
Great job, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Makes us proud.
Except they showed up without any instruments. I ain't.
We'll get them soon. Thank you all.
Thank y'all.
Teachers, parents, we thank you.
Yes, we do. Well, half left it. 3.2B, public comments, and we do have Nancy Morris that wants to speak, and
I thought about coming before you for some time, and I decided this was it. So, and this is a kind of big book. It's called The Invisible Rainbow, and it is the history of electricity and life by Arthur Furstenberg. And it looks like a big read, but I will tell you about half of this book is research, and he has done amazing things with research. The following that I'm going to read you is an excerpt from this book. It can be found in chapter 9, called Earth's Electric Envelope. A large, rapid, qualitative change in the Earth's electromagnetic environment has occurred 6 times in history. In 1889, power line harmonics came online, and radiation came with them. From that year forward, the Earth's magnetic field bore the imprint of power line frequencies and their harmonics. In that year exactly, the natural magnetic activity of the Earth began to be suppressed. This has affected all life on Earth. The power line age was ushered in by the 1889 pandemic of influenza. In 1918, the radio era began. It began with the building of hundreds of radio stations at LF that's low frequency, and VLF, very low frequencies. These frequencies that are guaranteed to most alter the magnetosphere. The radio era was ushered in by the Spanish influenza pandemic of 1918. In 1957, the radar era began. It began with the building of hundreds of powerful early warning radar stations that littered the high latitudes of the northern hemisphere, hurling millions of watts of microwave energy skyward. Low frequency components of these waves rode on magnetic field lines to the southern hemisphere, polluting it as well. The radar era was ushered in by the Asian flu pandemic of 1957. In 1968, the satellite era began. It began with the launch of dozens of satellites whose broadcast power was relatively weak. But since they were already in the magnetosphere, they had as big an effect on it as the small amounts of radiation that had managed to enter it from sources on the ground. The satellite era was ushered in by the Hong Kong flu pandemic of 1968. The other two mileposts of technology, the beginning of the wireless era, and the activation of the high-frequency active auroral research program, which we know is HAARP, belong to very recent times. And this book does cover the rest of it in great detail. But I'd like to talk about 3 cities briefly. These cities are New York City, Milan, Italy, Wuhan, China. And what do these cities have in common? Well, in 2019, all 3 cities were hubs for the budding 5G industry. All 3 cities rapidly were building many, many new towers for the onslaught of the new technology. In Wuhan, China, the 5G towers were turned on as an early test on October 19, 2019. The main introduction was to take place in December. On the afternoon of October 19th, the first patient with what we now call COVID showed up at a hospital in Wuhan. A major outbreak followed that first patient's illness. Very soon after that, the Lombardy region of Italy, which includes the city of Milan, and New York City experienced their own outbursts of the new disease. Is this just a coincidence, all these? I don't buy it. I think we are very foolish to allow 5G towers and the technology into our wonderful county. Oh, but they're for our own good, you might say. The towers give us better coverage for cell phones and other wireless devices. Well, I was sitting in Asheville recently. I was in sight of a huge tower. It had many, 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 many antennas on it. And I had my new 5G phone right there. I had 1 bar. So I don't buy it. I don't think this is why we're doing it. We don't have better service. I drop service all the time. It just drops out. I should have great service. I've got that new tower there in Crossnor. My gosh, it should be great. 2 towers. But I think we've been duped. And I challenge each and every one of you to educate yourself on the dangers of 5G and the overwhelming spread of technology. There are ways to shield against all this and protect ourselves and still have the technology we desire. But we need to act now to stop these towers and the dangers they pose to our neighbors, our friends, our children, who are even more vulnerable than we are, our wildlife, especially the birds who are losing the ability to navigate, and ourselves. And you know, to echo one of our past presidents, please, people of Avery County, take down these towers. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I believe Mr. Blake Vance wants to speak.
A little unorthodox for commissioner speaking public comments, but I just wanted quickly to say thank you. This will be my last regular meeting as a member of the Avery County Board of Commissioners, and I have some thank yous and some things I'd like to say. I'd like to first say thank you most of all to the citizens of Avery County for allowing me to serve the past 8 years. It's been a true honor and privilege in my life, and I'm very thankful for that time and for the things that we've accomplished. A little emotional, so overlook me. I'm very proud, and I'll be proud for the rest of my life of the things that have happened in the past 8 years and the things this group's done with the help of our citizens. So I'd just like to say thank you to the citizens of Avery County for allowing me that opportunity. I'd like to say thank you to my fellow commissioners. It's been a joy to work with you guys. I love you all as humans. And I'm proud to call every one of you friends, even if we haven't agreed at times, you're my friends. And I love you all. I think you have wonderful hearts and you're wonderful people. You do great things for this county, and thank you for that. I'm looking forward to being a citizen knowing that the county's in great hands. And to our administration, I love y'all. Y'all are wonderful. Avery County citizens don't know the administration and the people that they have in this building that are working for them every single day. And it doesn't end at 5 o'clock. It doesn't end at 10 o'clock. It doesn't end at midnight. It's 24/7. These two folks up on stage here, Cindy and Philip, unbelievable. Caleb, you just jumped in and done an awesome job. I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to my commissioners, to the administration, and to the citizens. It's been a privilege. And sad this is the last one, but I've truly, truly been blessed.
We've been blessed with working with you today.
Yes, sir.
You will be missed.
3.2C, Avery Fire Commission appointment.
Okay, so we have 32C1 is the Avery County Fire Commissioner appointee, and that is Mr. Matthew McClellan. And I do need a
Move we appoint.
move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
3.2C2 is a board appointment to the Avery Fire Commission, but this is the Avery Fire Association appointee, and that is Mr. Scott Stansberry.
Do I hear a motion to appoint?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And under 3.2C3, we have a review of the attached application for Kathy Gershaw, and if I've got that name wrong, I do apologize. She's requesting to be appointed to the WAMI Community Action Board, so we will do that at our next regular meeting. Okay?
All right. And 3.3A, the board has decided to defer that until November the 14th. We're having a special meeting that day. And that's what we've been doing today, is talking about our radio system and all the things that we need to bring it up to date. And we've not all got to talk separately, so we're gonna postpone this until the next meeting.
We need a motion.
I'll make a motion to table.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, board, and we will roll our sleeves up and get the information you need together.
And 3.3B, our administrative report, Andrea.
Good afternoon.
Good
Afternoon.
I'm asking for approval of our collections of $1,409,722.36.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Who was the second?
Clay.
Mayor Kim won.
Blake gets all the ties today.
Yeah.
I go to play.
Okay.
And then approval of our releases of $4,083.41.
Do I hear a motion to approve the releases?
Move to approve.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And just a note, you have a list of our sales that have happened for the month, just a snapshot. I included tax cards just because I wanted you to see the trend that from what our 2018 sales were to what our revow sale that we used in our study was to what it's selling for today. And it's still above market, and that's our sales ratio keeps dropping down, and I just wanted you to see that. And then the last thing I had included in your packet is I wanted to show you the progression of our $29.5 million listing in Avery County. I just wanted to show you that we do have everything that a permit was pulled for on that structure, and it takes you step by step from every card that happened. So you just know where our values came from. And be ready, because when I talked to the realtor about it, there was a person very interested. So it may sell for in the 20 million range somewhere, but just know that there is a lot of personal property included as far as furnishings, rugs, artwork, huge things. And the discussion I had with the realtor was possibly supplying the tax office with a copy of an appraisal of the personal property, so we can kind of weigh those things out when it comes time to do our next revaluation. But I just wanted everybody to see where we're at with this and what we do have and why we have what we have.
Great.
All right.
Good job.
Once we close, I'll let you in up there.
You'll let us come through and
We'll look at the rugs.
yeah, we'll look at your rooms. All right. Well, thank you all.
May I present
We
that?
thank
I was
you.
wondering who that was.
Hey,
Email introduction off the brief.
but that may be after 11:04 tonight, it may be more true, but, you know.
That's right.
All right, we'll move right along to 3.4A, our county manager's report.
Mr. Blake, one more regular session general updates from Mr. Barrier.
See, here's the thing, for those of you who don't know this, Philip used to itemize what he was gonna talk about, and he stopped doing that, and he just puts general updates so he can talk for 30 minutes about whatever he wants to.
He never runs down with anything.
He used to have it listed out, but now it's just one, general updates.
We limit bullet points, you know.
Right, so, first thing I want to talk about, of course, is workforce housing, something this board is very passionate about, administration is very passionate about. Unfortunately, no magic wand was passed down. Have talked with Northwest Housing a lot this month. Also went to the Dogwood Trust meeting, to see what other counties are doing with them and their partnership. So do know that we are still working on workforce housing. There are some good things that are possibly going to happen in the very near future. So just know that we are working toward workforce housing, and we do realize there is a need. Secondly is broadband. I hate to say the word wait, but we are still in a waiting pattern for the great grant paperwork. I've been told this time that it will be happening December. So I don't know if that's 1st of December or the last day of December. But as soon as that paperwork is signed, that does open the door for the CAB grant. So that's where we're waiting on that. I would like to remind everyone to help to get the news out. I've talked with Philip Adams at the Senior Center and Raquel with the DSS. There is an affordable connectivity program, ACP program. It is a federal program. It is not going away. This can help people up to $30 with their monthly internet bill, because it has gotten very expensive. So I just want folks to know about that. I signed helped sign some folks up last week. It is a little tedious, but it is well worth it
Also,
on that program.
They also provide some funding for devices.
Yes.
A one-time help with upgrading devices that would be more applicable with the internet.
So we have added that to our web page. I have not added that to our Facebook page because my administrative assistant is the one that knows, smart enough to do that, and haven't been able to be with her last week. But hopefully, help spread the word. There is a program out there called the ACP program to help with connectivity and paying for those expensive internet monthly bills. Tomorrow morning at 9:30, the Capitol Christmas Tree Tour will be here in Avery County at the Avery Community Center. So I just want to remind everyone of that. That is a huge opportunity for the county. And proud to say that over 100 Fraser Fir Christmas trees will be loaded during the program. And all those trees are from Avery County that will be going to Washington. So we are very proud of that effort, and need to thank Mr. Larry Smith for a lot of work on that. Ms. Martha already alluded to Veterans Day is this Friday. I encourage all those that will and can participate in the Operation Green Light to share your green light on your porches or in your home. And I wanted to brag on Tara in our Veterans Affairs office. She is doing a wonderful job in taking care of our veterans while she is getting her schooling on how to help those folks. So she is doing a great job. There's some information in your packet, Commissioners, about the Chamber and the website visits that are up. Great job by the Chamber. We were part of the Leadership Avery program, had Government Day here, and it was very well received. I just want to thank Ann and all her crew for the great job that the Chamber is doing for us. Also in your packet is, and I have available, if anybody would like to see, I have the Soil and Water Report for the year, and I have a hard copy of that.
They have them in the
And I think everybody got one? Good, okay. School system, the career technical education pamphlet, that's also in the packet. And I believe you got one of those when we went on our school Capitol building tour. Appreciate everybody's time for that. That was great and greatly done. And also on September 27th, the jail had an inspection and they passed with flying colors. And that, Mr. Vance, is my report.
Wow,
Is that pretty good?
I'm impressed.
All right.
All right, we'll move along then. 3.4B, our finance officer's report.
Hang on just a minute, we've got a lease agreement that we need to.
Oh,
do for
sorry.
Probation
Oh.
and
Yeah.
he's not finished, so don't let him.
So 3.4A2, we have a lease agreement between the County of Avery and the State of North Carolina for the Probation and Parole Office. We currently lease to them 575 more or less square feet of office space in the courthouse, and this lease needs to be re-signed. So I just need a motion that we can move forward with the lease.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Now, here comes Mr. Cable, our finance officer.
Good afternoon, Board.
Good afternoon to you, Cable.
I have a few items today for your consideration in the number of 9 in a resolution.
He is.
Item number 1, I wanted to make this a good one for Blake's last
Thank you.
one. I had to have
You don't get, you don't get paid per budget amendment.
yeah, I know. I wanted it to be memorable for you. Item number 1, the Department of Social Services has received Adult Protective Services Essential Service Funding in the amount of $1,022 from the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. Request the board adopt the following budget amendment to debit miscellaneous $1,022 and the credit county welfare $1,022.
Move to adopt. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Right. Item number 2, the Department of Social Services has received supplemental nutrition assistance program funding for administrative expenses in the amount of $12,898.48 from North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. Request the board adopt the following budget amendment to debit supplies office $12,898.48 and to credit county welfare $12,898.48.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Item number 3, the Department of Emergency Management has received a North Carolina Tier 2 non-competitive grant. The grant is for hazardous materials, emergency response planning, training, and related exercises for our region's local emergency planning committee. Requests the board to adopt the following budget amendment: to debit capital outlay $3,000 and to credit emergency management grant revenue $3,000.
I hear a motion to approve.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 4, the Department of Emergency Management has received a North Carolina Emergency Management Homeland Security Grant for the purchase of a rehabilitation trailer. The trailer will provide a rehabilitation treatment area for emergency services personnel in the event of a fire or disaster. Request the board approve the following budget amendment: to debit capital outlay automobile $23,000 and to credit emergency management grant $23,000.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 5, the Department of Emergency Management has received money from FEMA for various expenses related to pandemic response. Request the board adopt the following budget amendment: to debit FEMA $160,984.23 and to credit emergency management revenue $160,984.23.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 6, the JCPC administration did not use all their funding for the fiscal year 21-22. This has to be paid back to the state. This amendment will move money forward from fiscal year 21-22 to fiscal year 22-23 so we can make that payment. Request the board approve the following budget amendment: to debit JCPC administration $977.37 and to credit fund balance appropriated $977.37.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, almost there. County is required to participate in the CRAVE project that requires additional cabling to be installed to accommodate monitors and various teleconferencing equipment in both courtrooms. Request the board approve the following budget amendment: to debit capital outlay court facilities $17,226 and to credit fund balance appropriated $17,226.
Move to adopt.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 8, the E911 department has received permission to pay for a new recording system out of E911 funds. These funds will come out of the E911 fund balance. Request the board to adopt the following budget amendment: to debit capital equipment $54,295 and to credit emergency telephone system fund balance $54,295.
Do I hear a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Item number 9, the board has already pledged $250,000 in support to the Charter Spectrum in their application for great grant funding, which has been awarded and is awaiting contracts to be finalized. This amendment will increase the previous allocation of $3 million of American Rescue Plan funding towards broadband expansion to $3,250,000. Request the board approve the following budget amendment: to debit broadband expansion $250,000 and to credit American Rescue Plan revenue $250,000.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. This will clear that account, will it not?
It will not quite clear it. There was $3.4 million that we received plus interest proceeds.
Okay.
And go ahead, this will be a good time to give y'all an update that interest income has greatly increased with the Federal Reserve increasing interest rates. That in effect has increased our rates that we've been receiving. So our interest income has been up tremendously, up to, I'd say, getting close to pre-pandemic levels that we've been over the last 2 or 3 months, including our American Rescue Plan money. That interest income, as y'all know, can be spent more broadly than American Rescue Plan money. And also, now that we'll be opening our opioid settlement account, hopefully we'll be getting some good income off that. The last item I have is a resolution to establish and maintain an account with the North Carolina Management Trust for those opioid settlement funds. need to amend that resolution to read as follows. The one that you all have, just that first paragraph needs to read as follows. Whereas the board previously established a special revenue fund pursuant to NC General Statute, Section 159, subsection 26, subsection B2, and whereas the Board of Commissioners find it necessary to establish an account with the North Carolina Capital Management Trust for the deposit of funds received from the opioid settlement, and now therefore be it resolved that the Avery County Board of Commissioners meeting in regular session on the 7th day of November 2022 hereby authorize the Finance Officer Caleb Hogan to sign an application to establish a new account for the county with the North Carolina Capital Management Trust and to sign any further documentation required to establish such account for the deposit of opioid settlement funds.
Do I hear a motion to adopt?
Move with approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And that is all I have for y'all today. Sorry I couldn't bring any more, unless y'all have any questions for me. I just want to say it's been an honor to serve under Commissioner Vance. I appreciate you, Blake, and all you've done for our county.
Appreciate everything you do.
Thank you.
Michelle is in court today and she will not be here to give a report. And we have the approval of the minutes of the board, August the 22nd, 2022, board workshop, September the 19th, 2022, regular session, October the 3rd, 2022, regular session.
Move with approve. Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, we have our agenda consent items before us. We've been able to study them and read them. Does anyone have any questions? If not, do I hear a motion to approve the, no, we do that by consensus. All right. And we don't have anything for closed session. We have our informational items. Did you have anything you wanted, you've already mentioned?
I think I've touched on most of them.
All right. Our upcoming meetings, we will be having a special meeting at 3:30, November the 14th, for a public hearing and to discuss the radios.
No, the public hearing is for the community transportation program,
And then we discuss for the
and
radios.
then we will discuss the
Okay.
radio system.
And then a Friday is a day off for our veterans holiday, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
county offices will be
Closed.
closed Friday the 11th.
All right. And we will have a meeting on December the 5th, our regular meeting at 3:30. And has anybody got anything else?
I just want to say thank you to Blake for his service.
Thank you, buddy.
I've enjoyed
Been an honor.
working with you.
Been a pleasure.
For me too, guys. I appreciate you all.
That's one of the things that I hope for public consumption. As we have the opportunity to meet with other county governments at meetings and things like that, you learn that, I told someone the other day that even though we might have problems, we don't have problems. Because we work in, while it's not in an absolute 100% agreement all the time, we do work in consensus, and that's a difference. And it's great to be able to do that with this board. And in talking with some of the other commissioners and other officials around the state, not only with this board, but the other departments and county agencies, we, while again, we may not have total agreement on every jot and tittle of every issue, there's not an antagonism and an animosity that exists that's prevalent in some of the other counties. And I hope that as we go forward in doing things, that the citizens recognize that we live in a very special place in a lot of ways, and that's just one of them. And I think it's because we know each other, we're accountable to each other, and we see each other and the citizenry every day. And in some of the larger municipalities and counties and populations, it's really not that way. And so just wanted to say, again, like everyone else, thanks to Blake for being a part of that, and that he's contributed to the general feeling of consensus that this board has.
And we'd like to say tomorrow is election day, and if you've not already voted, make sure you go out and cast your ballot.
Avery says, go vote.
Vote early and vote often.
So, Ms. Martha, we've got some cake and a little bit of thing to just say thank you to Blake too for his service. So afterwards, we'll have a little cake.
All right. You're welcome to stay and be invited.
And sandwiches with extra mayonnaise on them.
He hates
We learn
mayonnaise.
each other pretty fast. All right, if nothing else, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
I'll be voting tomorrow for the 2 candidates and the commission. I said, we're out of session. I'll be voting tomorrow for the 2 candidates that have actually been to a commissioner meeting. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry.